Hello, friends. Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm going to bring you a different kind of video. It's because I want to talk to you about a few things and tell you a couple of stories. So, for those of you that are watching this on Detail Grandma, if it sounds like I'm talking outside the box, I am, because I'm going to share this video in another location eventually. First of all, you know me as Detail Grandma. For the last 4 years, I've been in YouTube universe and built this channel, really worked hard to build a community that we could love. The live streams are just about the community, and then the videos, up until I quit doing the detailing for the outside public or just for the car lot. Well, there's another side of me, and some of you with Detail Grandma, you know that. So let me tell you a story. In 2010, a year after my husband, Jerry, passed away, I had really struggled after he passed away and all through most of 2010 to put my feet back on the ground. Once I started putting my feet back on the ground in late 2010, I decided to sign up online and finish my high school diploma. Well, as soon as I finished that, because I breezed right through it, it took me 18 weeks, it was nothing. Anyway, they started pushing, you should sign up for college. Just get some college education behind you, you know. And so that got me to thinking, what do I really want to do? And so I took the next couple of months and thought about it. And I also thought, this college education, if I do it right, it can be my ticket out of trucking. I had a daughter still at home. I wanted to raise her. So I thought, this college could get me a ticket out of trucking. So in 2011, I signed up for my Associates in Psychology, a 2-year program, all online, and I breezed right through it. But I graduated in 2011 in December. And then they started pushing for me to do an internship, and they connected me with somebody in Tulsa. And so I did my internship, and I finished that by March. By the time I finished my internship, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a therapist. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew. I was going to get licensed. I was going to become an online therapist, and I was going to reach out to everybody across Oklahoma. Well, I did. I got my license. I got a website, and I did some advertisements on Facebook. And by the middle of the summer of 2012, I had 11 clients, 11 patients. And by the 1st of September, I was doing great. I was happy. Life was good. Me and my daughter had just moved back to Kansas, and I was doing pretty good. The 1st of September, my 14-year-old daughter, the only daughter I still had at home, the only kid still at home, she was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian carcinoma. I quit therapy right away. I referred all the patients out, and I stood by my daughter's side 93 days. She died in 93 days. She died December 12th, 2012. A very short battle. And I never went back to therapy. I let the license lapse. I could have moved right back to Oklahoma. I could have done whatever I needed to do. But I was destroyed. When my daughter died, I was destroyed. And I just quit. I said, I can't help people. And then I started venturing into making excuses. I said, people don't want any help. That's the way I looked at it. to convince myself that I didn't have to do that. That's what I did. Well, let's fast forward to the end of February, the beginning of March 2026. Yeah, just about 6 weeks ago. For the last year, I've been struggling with jobs. I thought it was the job, but I've been applying for jobs, and I just kept applying, and it got to a point where I just applied for anything up till about a year ago, and then it just wasn't snapping into place, and I finally was like, what's going on? And then I started thinking, okay, maybe it's me. Maybe there's something going on. And I started realizing it was me. So by the beginning of this year, as I'm applying for all these jobs and I'm receiving all of these rejection letters, and the realization that it is me. The realization is, when Becca passed away, I was a person that was this way. And after she passed away, I was this way. And this one is just not capable of doing some of the things that this one could. By the end of February, I had received all of these rejection letters. Everything was piling up. Financially, I was strapped. Emotionally, I was wiped out. I was scared because of the emotions and no job and the financial issues. I didn't know what to do. I was doing my level best to hide it from everybody. And then one morning I woke up and saw all of my notifications on the phone. And there was another email with a rejection. And I completely broke. I was so upset. And for the next couple of weeks, I couldn't find my footing. I didn't know which way I was going. I didn't know what to think, what not to think. I didn't know anything. I kept thinking, everything was going to be fine. It was going to work itself out. But the other thing was that, when you come to the realization that you're not the same person that you used to be, now you feel like you don't fit into the world and you don't know how to navigate that, So for the next 2 weeks, I struggled and I struggled and I struggled, and I hit rock bottom, really. I knew I just didn't feel like I had a path to keep going in life. I just really didn't. And then one day, a couple weeks later, I was sitting in my chair, another rejection letter. Sitting in my chair, started crying, and I am not talking about just a little cry. I am talking about sobbing, crying, and then I got into a coughing fit because of crying. And that's when Bella walked up to me in my chair. She nudged my hands, and then when I moved my hands to touch her on her head, she put her head in my lap. And it was at that point I realized I do have a path forward. I just need to get myself together. My dog and I couldn't be separated. See, so that was the whole point of getting her. She's helped me through a lot of stuff. So I guess you could say Bella saved me. So what I started doing at that point over the next couple of weeks is I started doing all of my exercises. I wanted to get my breathing exercises done. This is all part of the psychology, things like that. I did some other exercises. These are all tools that everybody can use. I just happen to have the knowledge of them, and a lot of people don't. So I put myself back together. So anyway, I just kept working my way back up. Over the last year, I've been noticing that I've been more and more getting back into helping people, especially those that are on our live stream and all of that, even people that are not. I walked away 13 years ago, but now I'm back. But I am not going to do licensed therapy. I don't need the red tape. I don't need the drama. I'm not here to diagnose anybody. I'm not here to give you medication. I'm not here for any of that. I just want the freedom to help people. We're not here to make lifelong patients. We want to identify the chaos in somebody's life, give them the tools that they need in order to move forward. I have created a second channel, and the second channel is Grandma's Front Porch. That name always had a ring to it. I just didn't know, but it never really fit this channel. This channel is and always will be Detail Grandma. That is where I am going to do all of my mental health stuff. I've got so much stuck in my head. If I do nothing else, even though I do have plans, if I do nothing else with this mental health stuff, at least I'm putting out all of this information on videos, breaking it down, trying to do my best to give those tools to other people, especially those who are afraid to reach out to a therapist. So, that's what I'm doing. I wanted to make sure that you all knew what was going on. I am not quitting the Detail Grandma channel. We'll still be here. I will still record all of the details. I am opening myself up, I think, to some part-time coaching sessions. Because I'm not going to license, I'm just going to stay a life coach. And I am going to focus on grief and anxiety. I am going to do a few other creative things if I can figure out how to do them, but only time will tell. Not everything's going to happen overnight. We'll just see how it plays out. Anyway, you are more than welcome to join me on this other channel if you'd like. If not, it's okay. I just wanted to share how I am evolving. Detail Grandma's not going anywhere. I'm just adding Grandma's Front Porch. So, that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I sure do appreciate it. And until the next video on the Detail Grandma side, and the next video on Grandma's Front Porch side, because that is where this video is going to go as well. I hope you all have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.